My life didn't start until I was 40 years old. Let me share with you why that is. I lived my entire life as a drinker. I didn't quit until I was 42 years old. And it took the pandemic for me to stop drinking. And it really took the pandemic for me to look within and figure out why it is that I hate myself so much. I needed to find the love within. I didn't have that my entire life. I was looking for love. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And unfortunately, when we look outside for outside forces to help us in our love for ourselves, it's a failure every time. So when I quit drinking in 2020, I was able to put the alcohol aside for a bit of time, and I was able to kind of look within. And each year that I have been sober, I've grown in a certain aspect of my life. So that first year, I was able to heal. That was really the first and foremost. I needed to heal from the years of drinking. I drank for 27 years, and I couldn't heal without putting it down for some time. And I knew that I needed to put it down for at least a month, at least a few months. And once I got there, I was able to heal even further in my sobriety that year. So fast forward to 2021. I spent that entire year being enlightened by the world around me as a sober person. I was able to look around and see the wondrous earth, the wondrous way that life was when we were a kid, if it ever was for you. If life was ever, if there were endless possibilities, if we could be anything we want, if we could do what we wanted to and feel good about it and feel good about ourselves. If we ever had that, or we ever had it and we lost it like I did, I was able to regain that back in 2020 and 2021. So I spent that whole year in 2021 feeling like I'm enlightened, like the world isn't a terrible place. It's not as bad as I made it out to be all those years, and it can be great. When I got to 2022, I worked on accepting things for the way that they were. I was starting to figure out that I was accepting things the way that they were better without drinking. But I was still hanging on to the fact that I wish things were this way or that way. I wish people were this way or that way. And it took me some time, but I accepted the fact that I'm never going to change the world, and I'm never going to change the people's behaviors that I'm upset about. It's up to me to control what I can control. And as a result, the world is a better place, and those people around me are better, but it doesn't change the way that they react to certain things, and it doesn't change the turmoil in the world, and it doesn't change all those things. But what it does is change the peace within me, the peace that I was missing all those years that I drank. I started drinking when I was 15. I drank for 27 years. I knew it was going to take some time to figure that all out, and by the grace of God, it happened. In 2023, I found my balance. I figured out who I was, what made me tick, what are the things that brought me joy. I didn't need to feel angry anymore, and bitter and resentful, and feel like I was needing to escape my life. I was still looking for things to help me escape my feelings, because I did feel like I needed to take a trip, or I needed to try something else besides alcohol to help me quiet those voices that say, I need to get away. And that didn't change right away. It took a few years, and even into 2023. Like I said, I was still working on this balance and accepting my life and my circumstances for how they are, and that helped me overcome that hurdle that I was experiencing my whole life, where I felt like I needed an escape. At this point, I didn't need an escape anymore, and it was a freeing feeling. And then in 2024, last year, was a huge year. First of all, I started reading the Bible on day one. I started the Robert Roberts plan, and I read 10 to 15 minutes of the Bible every day, and I ended up reading it every day for the whole entire year, cover to cover. So I grew in my faith. I walked out of my comfort zone by introducing myself to my pastor. My pastor had me in and did a testimonial for the busiest day of the year at the church. I always had social anxiety, and I made just a video of that a couple weeks ago about being in front of groups of people is still a problem for me. Sometimes, a lot of times, being around one-on-one isn't really too bad. Being in front of the camera here, not too bad. But when I'm in a group of people, I just don't know what to say or do. A lot of times I just don't say anything, and I just listen to the people around me. And sometimes I become frustrated because I don't like what I'm hearing. And then I wish I could chime in, but I don't. And I don't want to cause a problem for people. So I don't say anything, and I leave it at that. And then when I get on the road, I'm like free falling, I'm listening to that Tom Petty song, I'm free. But I just want to say that being in my 40s has been the most eye-opening experience I've ever had, mainly because I don't drink. I mean, I liked my 30s better than my 20s. The 20s were just like, I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do. And I think that just happens for most everybody. Like, what are we doing? We're trying to find our way. And I found my way, but it didn't happen until my 30s, I felt like. That's really when things started to change for me. I mean, I got a college degree. I got married. I started a family, had a daughter. And I have 4 daughters, actually. But I married into a family already, and so it was just a ready-made family. But I did that, and I stepped out of my comfort zone by doing that. Up until I met my wife, I was really not open to dating anybody that had children, and it was a dating website that I was on. I'll say what it is. It's Plenty of Fish. And I don't know what it's like these days, but I was on that for a good 2 years or so before I met my wife. But it was a prompt that was on there that said, would you like to change your status and change some of your profile? And it was, would you like to date a girl that has children? And I thought, you know what? I've been on this for a couple years. I've met a few people, and why don't I try that? And boom, it was like a couple days later, she texted me, or she put a chat on that forum. We got to texting. It turned out she didn't have one child, two children. She had 3 girls. And I'm like, man, well, we'll see. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. And here we are, 15 years later. But yeah, I mean, all the love and all the glory that God gave me during that period of time, and since that period of time, was so great. But like, I didn't fix myself until later, and luckily, by the grace of God, it wasn't too late. Like, I didn't make so many mistakes that my life was like turned upside down, because that could have very well happened, and I saw it heading in that direction, and I did not want that. So I was really 42 when my real life began, and I was able to try to heal from all those years. And like I said, it took a good 3 years, so like 45 years old. And so 45, 46, 47, I'll be 48 in August. I have a 5-year soberversary coming up next month, April 27th. I celebrate those. I find that it's just, to celebrate those big milestones is huge. It's rewarding. It feels good to me to celebrate with my sober friends, my wife, my children, and that, because my life is better because of it, and everyone around me is better because I'm a better version of Josh. And I have God to thank for all of this. God's so good to me. He's been so good to me. And giving my life over to Christ, really, and meaning it, like surrendering the idea that I can do life by myself, has been the biggest blessing in my life, because it changed everything. I no longer have to fear. I no longer have to worry about what if. I know that if I live my life the way that God intended me to live it, and live it out, because it's all written right out there in the book. If I live my life out and I talk to God and I consult God every day about what I need to do, what I really in my heart want to do, but if it's not God's will, then I'm not doing it. And that's just where I am with my life. So I made this video. I made this video for you guys. I hope you found value in it. If you're looking for a sober group, come on over to my group, Sobriety in the Storm. It's on Facebook. It's a private group. Put any comments you want in the comment section below. I'd really love it if you put in there, God is good. Let us know who you are, where you are in your life. If you don't want to say what your age is, just say what you're struggling with or what you want help with or anything like that. And so thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. Let's keep this channel going. Let's keep this community going. And yeah, there's blessings in every turn. So have a great day, everybody.